All right, thanks, sir. Okay, let's get started. Good morning. This is Jack Charting the Markets Crypto, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 17th of April. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay, let's have a look at Bitcoin first. Bitcoin, obviously, we've got an RSI 5 bicycle fix, and these have a decent track record. No question about it. So I'm leaning towards this making target. I am wondering if we might be starting a big move. Does this mean that we couldn't make this target down here in the 69,000, 70,000 area before this goes up? No, it doesn't mean that. And obviously, at the moment, and historically, this has been strongly tied to equities, and I'm thinking this is a temporary rally and we will go down afterwards. But there is reason to believe that we might not, that this strong link between equities, risk on, risk off, effectively, between Bitcoin and equities is going to end soon. And I'll be looking at that again today. Okay, in terms of the short-term chart, we haven't broken over declining resistance yet. We have a nice looking double bottom. On the hourly chart, no current divergence. But really, this is the first leg of the rally. We are seeing a consolidation here, and it could go a bit lower within that consolidation, as could equities. But after that, I'd normally expect to see at least one more leg up in an ABC. I'm not convinced this is an ABC. I think this might be the start of a larger move up. If so, we've got declining resistance, which we've got currently in about the 86,300 area, and we've got a double bottom here, and a sustained break over that double bottom would have a target in the 101/2, so the 103/4 area, and may well head straight back into a retest of this high here at 109. How's that looking on Solana? All right. On the daily chart, on the weekly chart, we don't have a buy signal. On the daily chart, we've already broken over the obvious wedge here. We may well have a bottom forming here. Ideally, that would either just get up to 147 and break up in what would be a rather asymmetric double bottom, or we'd get up into the 147.5 area. We would see a pullback for a right shoulder, and then it would go up. With a target at that stage, which would be in about the 195 area. I'm liking that. I really am. The 50% retracement of this move is in the 195 area. And again, we could be that we would actually be starting another main move up after a very stiff retracement. And this is a decent looking pattern to start that up from. Looking at the hourly chart, we have no current divergence. At the moment, this is the IHS I drew last week. I'll be doing a follow-up post tomorrow, I think. Obviously, it's a holiday, but I tend to work all the holidays and weekends anyway. But I'm going to be doing a post on this, talking about how this is getting along. When we do the next leg up on equities on this rally, I'm expecting to reach this 147. Now, obviously, we may not see that next leg up on equities, but I am expecting to see it. That would be normally what we'd see as minimum for a rally, and subject to major news risk. That's what I'm expecting to see. Then ideally, we'd see it pull back down, and then I think we get an inflection point where we may well find that crypto disengages from equities and heads up, because it is becoming a flight to safety trade. How much that will reflect Solana, I don't know. But nonetheless, I think there's a decent chance of it happening. Looking at Ethereum, which is not the strongest of these, it is the weakest of these three. We've seen a bit of a rally off the low. Again, it's not a bad looking pattern to see a decent move up on. I drew in an IHS on here as well. We're following that less comfortably than we are on Solana, but really I'm thinking Ethereum is on the way out. It may well not have a significant place in the market, and the main reason is that the reason it was introduced was because it did all the things that Solana now does better. This has been relatively very weak, and it may well continue to be the case. So really, in terms of a big move up here, I'm looking at the other two. In terms of, I'll be publishing, might not be before Monday, but I'll be publishing a move on how it won't be a matter of, let's talk about, what happens if the US loses reserve currency status. That's not actually what I'll be talking about in the post. What I'll be talking about is it becoming less of a reserve currency. Back in 1970, something like 85% of all international transactions were in dollars. That's now down at 57%. What I'm talking about is maybe dropping 25 or 30%. And if that happens, a number of other assets will benefit. Gold is absolutely one of them, and I think we're seeing some of that benefit already. I'm looking at a number of the other precious metals. I'll be talking about those. I'll be talking about rhodium, iridium, anything really with a very high value that can be stored as a store of value. And I'll also be talking about, in terms of the other currencies like the yen, the pound, the euro, but I'll also be talking about crypto. Crypto should be one of the beneficiaries. And if crypto is one of the beneficiaries and it starts to become a flight to safety currency, then that actually opens up a whole new ballgame. And this could break this could actually invert the current traditional cycle on cryptos. Cryptos, generally speaking, historically, have basically gone up with equities and gone down with equities. This could change that and actually start delivering the opposite. If it becomes a flight to safety trade, then as equities go down, and it might be in a serious bear market at the moment, and I've been talking about that too, then actually crypto could go up. We could see another big leg up in crypto, and that's what I'm wondering about here. Anyway, I'll be writing more about that. In terms of the head and chest here, Ethereum's not following it, but to be honest, Ethereum's not the one I'd be getting into anyway. I think the big beneficiaries would likely be Bitcoin and Solana. And as I pointed out before, Bitcoin's not shown us anything so far. So they just tell us that that it isn't still in a bull market. And I'm thinking it could well be. And this is the thing that could deliver the next leg up. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. Everyone have a great weekend. Look out for a crypto post tomorrow and have a good holiday. All right, take care.